Hello everyone. Lot back here. Making a little bit more of a development stream for my beloved shower patch. It's spontaneous again because I normally don't expect to have time on Mondays or Thursdays because that's when I usually play D&D. But today is a bit of a special occasion because we kind of finished the first arc, so our session will not be 4 hours, it will be most likely only 1 to 2 hours. So I won't be as tired if I do a little stream before then. So I decided why not work a little bit on this again. There has been some developments. Let's go to the channel here. So if we go onto our shower patch server now. Hello AT machine. Just to do a little bit of progress. We still have a bunch of assets here that need to be done. There has not really been all that much effort there. We did get a nice little fan art here, but it just, you know, I can't use it in game unfortunately. Maybe like for some kind of thumbnail or something. We have a provisionary Nolan portrait, but I think I'm gonna have to pick another one for the proper one. It just doesn't really look like Nolan. Though I appreciate the effort. But we've had a little bit of progress. In here we had a entirely new cutscene that I'm gonna show off for the prologue. We have some more text there. We have some more text for chapter 1. We have some text for chapter 3, and then we're gonna get some more text for chapter 2 and 4 and onwards relatively soon. It's mostly made by Samson here. He's pretty, he's working pretty fast, but who's working even faster and who I want to give a huge shout out to, because I think it's insane. This is our list of like supports I potentially wanna have, and Vigilante over here has like within, as you can see, like within literally a week, he wrote nearly 20 supports. Nearly 20 supports out of the 62 or something that I had planned. Fully written, not fully formatted, but not even I know how to fully format it yet. I'm still hoping there's going to be a tutorial on that. But essentially, this dude wrote like a third of all the supports I wanted within like a week. And they're pretty good too. Which is genuinely insane. This dude has a crazy work ethic. So, huge shoutouts to that. We will be... Let me maybe just pull this on my second screen. There we go. Feeling better today? A little bit. I really don't know what was going on the other stream, but I haven't been coughing after that, so I guess maybe I just got some dust in my lungs or something. I don't know. But we'll be going back, and I want to show off the new prologue. Shower patch. Let's briefly show that off, because I think it will serve as a pretty nice show of what we can do. Okay, so are you alright? Yeah, I'll be fine. Okay, I'm not gonna read it out, but I hope it worked. I just put the files in, but yeah, it works correct. Yeah, so as you can see, Mia is now part of the Grail Mercs. I haven't adjusted some of the dialogue yet, like Boyd should be Bowl, but so yeah, Mia's part of the Grail Mercs, and she is going to be part of the prologue. And I haven't adjusted the balancing of this yet, but it's a little bit more it's a little bit more interesting in the sense that it's not just like, oh, you hit attack and then you die. Now you fight Mia, and then with Mia you fight Boyd, and then with Boyd and Mia you fight Grile. I haven't adjusted it yet though, so but I do really like the cutscene so far. Yeah, we do get healed here, but you're able to use your units a little bit more. Again, not fully adjusted yet. Did I? Okay, yeah, I did do the animation stuff. I'd like for these to be like wooden swords as well, but we don't have the assets for that yet. I'm gonna see if I can find somebody who can maybe help out with that. Hey hero, currently showing off the new prologue. Oh Mia, my beloved, yes, she's now part of the Grile Mercs. Riz has a prodigy on his hands with that healing, true. Yeah, and now you fight Grile with his practice axe. Or this is technically a different axe, I think. This is like a great axe. So everybody here should be, or like Mia and Ike can double him. I'm liking the new dialogue. The new I think, was it you, AT Machine, that that wrote the dialogue, or was it Samson? Because I know Samson wrote like most of the story dialogue. That's not in the game yet. But AT Machine was the one who actually made the cutscene. Yeah, you were. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. As I said, it's not 100% done yet, but yeah. Why you? You're not ready to fight me solo, boy. And this does help to get your early units. Why do they have weird names? They have their Japanese names. Is Void going to be viable for endgame in this patch? Everybody will be viable for endgame in this patch. Everybody will be viable. And Grile is level 20, so you do get a little bit more EXP here. I don't know, I figured it'd be nice to get the player a little boost before the first chapter. Even Mia. Oh, I accidentally skipped there. I'm a professional. Mia is already viable. I mean, I used Mia to endgame in my Maniac mode, Iron Man. Are you going to add 1 to 2 ranged swords? Not physical ones, I think. I don't particularly like those. I'm gonna make sword fighters in general a bit more viable. But they will serve a bit of a different function, and you will have access to magic swords though. So that was the new prologue, again, subject to change with the balance and everything a little bit. The other stuff is not yet... oh, it is not yet changed. I think Mia's a little bit out of place there. He's just chilling. Okay. It immediately goes back. Huh. Yeah, I gotta fix that later. But for now it works. For now it works. We do need to play the Chapter 7, because I didn't find the time to do it beforehand. Gonna make it player face friendly by lowering defense and res. Yeah, it's not gonna feel like Maniac mode in the sense that everybody is is super OP. Everybody takes like a gazillion hits. I don't particularly like that, so it's not gonna be like that. But I'm gonna attempt my best to make everybody. Did you shower today? Yeah, I took a small shower just before stream. Because, you know, I find that if you take a shower before stream, it kind of lets your metabolism, it makes your metabolism a bit better, and in turn it means that you end up being a bit better at commentating. Why is Mia in the prologue? She's now part of the Greilmerks from the start. I don't know, I found it a bit silly that she, like, I think being there from the start and getting those free chapters not only adds a little bit to the early chapters, because one of my big complaints about them is that you just don't get any real units to use. And it ends up feeling sometimes a bit more like a puzzle, like you've already played it a million times, rather than like, oh, I can use this, or use this, or use that. Like, it always kind of ends up feeling the same. So I just generally added more playable units to the start, like Mist and Rolf are available earlier. You now get Alincia as a third healer in the chapter where you meet her. And yeah. You get Soph earlier. For Mia, like, she normally joins you in this chapter, and then she's pretty mid, and then you can immediately bench her, so that is an awful first impression. So I was just like, you know what? She's just gonna be part of the Greilmerks from the start. It doesn't really change anything for her. Like, whether she joins, like, 5 chapters into the game and then she's part of the Greilmerks, or if she's just part of the Greilmerks. It doesn't really change that much for her. So, I felt like it was a cool idea. Oh, nice. Lopa. So I've already adjusted this chapter a little bit. Oh, wow. And as you can see, just Rolf being available a little bit earlier gonna help a lot. And he also has insight. I'm not quite sure if I want to keep this on him, but I felt like it would be a cool little extra he has, as opposed to just not having any skills. And his skill growth is now really, really good. So he's gonna cap that really soon. Yeah, Boyd is, as you can see, a bit stronger. Mia recruitment always felt forced to me. Yeah. Would you increase caps? So, I'm not sure I'll necessarily increase all caps, but I will definitely rework and adjust the caps. Okay, so we're gonna move right here, and we're gonna attempt to kill that guy with a hammer soon. Oh, I also reworked the hammers a little bit. As you can see, the weight of these is generally a bit reduced now. Their might is increased, so they're very, very strong weapons. You are not touching bases and groves. No, I am. But their uses are also heavily decreased. These are now very, very specialized weapons against very, very specialized foes. But against those foes, they are really, really strong. Because I find, like, one hammer lasts you so long. I think it was a idea that was from Mangs, who was like, in the early game you need the effective weapons the most, and in the early game they're also the worst. So it just felt a bit silly, and I wholeheartedly agreed with that. So yeah, I will touch caps, I will touch growths and everything a little bit. Did I mess this up a little bit? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Nice, more speed. Yeah, I messed it up a little bit. Oh well. Oh no, never mind. I shove here, that's what I do. See, I still haven't quite, like, hit the perfect balance for this one yet, I think. But it is fine enough for me for now to where I would want to continue working on the others. Are hammers and poleaxes triple effectiveness now? No, they're not triple effectiveness, but they have very, very high base might. and they're a lot less heavy. Like, Void can use the pole axe and the hammer, well, almost the hammer already. And these things, like, as you can see, 6 damage here, and he does a lot more with it. It's 30 damage. I could have potentially looked around in the code, spend a couple of hours finding the effectiveness table, taken a look at how I can fix that. I could have done all that, but if I'm being honest, I just wanted to try and do something different. I wanted to try and see if I can make do with double effectiveness, but good might, but maybe keep the weapons a bit more rare or something like that. I'm not sure. I may still increase these to 10 durability, because 8 might be a little bit too low, honestly. But you'll get more of them, or be able to buy a couple more, but
They'll be relatively expensive because they're just better weapons now, generally.
like, I think the base hammer has, like, what, maybe, like, 10? 10 or something might? Like, in the base game, pretty much all of the effective weapons, you were better off just using a silver weapon, even if they're effective. Are you going to do something with Khan, or it'll be just as useless? I think it'll be just as useless. I'm not quite sure what I would do with it. 10 uses or less is a good way to balance them. Yeah, that's what I figured. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So put you right there. And you can move here and open the chest. Right here we're gonna... Like, you just get a couple more units to play around, and that does kinda make a difference, I find. Okay, let's get a level here. Nice, more speed. Oscar, for example, is now generally more defensive. In the base game, he kinda just did everything good, but was sometimes a little bit screwed in strength. Now he has like a little bit more speed and defense, I think. Comparatively. But he's not quite as strong in other things. Like, or for example, the Regal Blade. It is an effective weapon, but it's not like... I didn't want to make it super OP. So it is now stronger than a Steel Sword. I think normally it has like +7 might or something. Now it has 9, so... It's a good weapon regardless. We're just gonna go with the... Yeah, we can keep the Regal Sword, I guess. It's nice that you can split your army now with 2 healers. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to make things work here, but... it's gonna take a little bit more time to get everything just right to where I want it. Yeah, I haven't adjusted the dialogue here yet, and as you can see, the cutscenes aren't perfect here yet. I just made them appear for now. Okay, join up with Shinon, you get a couple more enemies here. Soph is also now part of the Greilmerks. He joined them to get money for traveling around, or maybe to just travel around with them in the first place. I just like the idea of having an early thief you can train. I figured, you know, he is super, like, he respects Ike a whole lot in FE10, and I feel like that kind of works a little bit better if he's part of the Greilmerks, or a relatively new arrival to the Greilmerks in the first place. And believe it or not, with the stiletto, which is effective against armor, okay, I can't really show it all that well here, but he can actually deal some damage against these guys. Let's see. Warriors and Swordmaster enemies already. Well, you're supposed to be hunted by Petrine. You know, Petrine is not just some joke unit. Petrine is supposed to be like one of the strong, it's like one of the 4 riders of Dane. Those are bronze bows now. But she just doesn't really feel like that. Miracle. I don't think I've adjusted these yet. I was considering adjusting them. Are we adding new PRFs? I was thinking of like 1 or 2 for some very specific characters, but nothing set in stone yet. So as you can see, for example, this is a Swordmaster right here. And he doesn't deal all that much damage to somebody like Gatry. But, or like Titania would take a little bit more. If Titania, Shannon, and Gatry enemies should be strong here. Yeah, that's pretty much my thought. You also have an Armor Slayer guy. This guy barely doesn't kill Gatry. Armor Slayers are actually scary now. Lance General standing here. You have a Silver Axe guy there. Just gonna move it back a little bit. Or you know what, I'll take the Iron Lance for more hit. Are you gonna take out chest key drops to encourage Soph usage, or would it be too railroady? I'm gonna... I think it would be too railroady because technically Soph can die. I don't want to deprive the player of so many chest keys this early on. But generally, my issue with chests is this, right? I don't really want there to be like as many dead turns where nothing really happens. And that, like, you get dead turns when you force a player to do things they don't necessarily need to do. I think these guys used to be slower. I recall, maybe I buffed them a little bit too much, but oh well, we'll see. Maybe. Is that Elincha? Yes. Yo, Donald back at it? Yes, I am indeed back at it. Oh, nice. Maybe just the one near the spawn. Near his spawn. No, here's the thing. The player could very well have Soph die beforehand. I want to make this as Iron Man friendly as possible. And if Soph is dead and there's no chest keys here, it means that you just lose out on these chests. Which is something that I think can just snowball into missing out on so much loot that you start having very big logistical issues, which you really shouldn't have. But I'll also reduce the overall money you get, I think, a little bit. I do want the player to not be as free with, like, spending all of their money, because I think that kind of just means the logistical aspects gets lost. But I also don't really want, like, there has to be some kind of balance to it. And I feel like that would be a bit too cruel so far. If anything, I'm actually not that big of a chest fan in many maps. The chests that you get items from. But my big issue with chests in... He joins in chapter 3, right? No, chapter 5. What is usually the defense map in the fog. That's where Soph joins. Yeah, my issue with these is, so first you kill an enemy that gives you a chest key, or you get your thief close, and then you open it, and then you go back. So you lose up to 3 turns from just opening a chest that you could be doing other things with. I do think there should be chests, and there should be a reason to go after the chests, but I don't know. I feel like in some cases, it just feels like they're wasting your time. It just feels like they're wasting your time in some cases, so I do still want to have chests, but I want to be a little bit more conservative with them, I think. Oh, nice. We have other things as well, like, for example, there's the Swordmaster with Gatry can deal with him, even being double crit. I did reduce the stats of the Swordmaster a little bit, so... Oh, didn't even realize you were in range. As you can see, Soph, he can actually defend himself. He is no longer a complete joke. I toyed with the idea of giving Lock Touch to the Goose to give him something to do when untransformed. That could work. But yeah, with the Stiletto, you can actually do a little bit of damage as opposed to just having a knife. Like, that's kind of the issue. Your thieves just get knives for most of the game, and knives are so bad. I get that they're not supposed to be combat units, but I feel like outside of stealing a couple of staves, there's not all that much of a use for the thieves in this. Yeah, I could kill him now. We'll just try that. Armor Slayer 11. Oh, we might be in an issue here now, because I reduced the weight of the Armor Slayer here, but I didn't adjust this guy's speed yet. Which means that... Why don't you just make it 1 to 2 range if the might is low? Because I don't have an animation for it. I don't have an animation for it. I might do 1 to 2 range knives, and then just make like the daggers and stuff 1 range. I could do that, but I haven't looked at the knives all too much yet. I'm going through it like 1 by 1, pretty much. But I do kind of like the idea of it. I just need to check if I can somehow make an animation for it, or have an animation that works. Because I'm not quite sure if you can just use the melee animation for it, but even that would feel a little bit off, I think. Yeah, but I wanted to check. So he would now double Gatry. So that would be 12 more damage. So he would do 34 damage. Yeah, he would 1 round Gatry. That is not the intended result. That is not the intended result. So we will be having to put Titania here. Yeah, I need to readjust that a bit. Nice. Very nice, bro. So I think I will just use a vulnerary. It's not quite as intended, that's sad. I also wish there was a way of showing the player that enemies won't move. I think one thing I might be able to do... I think the knife anim could believably be a throw. Maybe. I'm not sure. But one thing I'd really like to do is to be able to set enemy... Like, to set the movement of enemies which... don't actually move to 0, so you know that they don't move. Like this guy, I'm pretty sure I set to don't move, but it's not very apparent that he won't move, and I think his armor knights won't move either. So maybe are there locked items like you have for the Burger King, for example, the in FE10, the Alondite, that you can just lock and can't take off of them? Is that a thing in FE9? I forget. Because if that is a thing, then I might be able to add like an item that shows the player, like maybe a locked item that just says stationary and the enemy equips it, and because it's equipped it gives them 0 movement. I think that could work. Actually, you can't steal equipped items anyways, right? Maybe I could like make like a badge. Could replace a stone fragment. What stone fragment? I'm not worried about the icon. I'm worried about the fact that I don't want the player to be able to steal it from enemies. But I guess if I make it an equipable accessories, I don't care about the icon. My point is more so I want there to be like an equipable accessory, and I think I can actually do that if I make it an accessory. That the player can't steal because you can't disarm an accessory, and you can't steal an equipped accessory. So it will be an accessory that certain enemies have equipped that you can't steal, and it sets their movement to 0, so the player knows that they don't move. I think that could be pretty nice. Place one of the bands. I can just make new items. I don't need to replace anything. Oh, I just realized I need to heal Ike. Okay, let's do this. I'm pretty sure I set those guys to not move, but again, It could work since no disarm in this game. Well, right, there isn't a disarm in this game. But even then, an accessory you cannot disarm. Or I guess in FE10 you don't really have accessories anyways, but you get the point. Gotta be a bit careful about this guy here. Disarm is for weapons. Yeah, exactly. I forgot to give her the armor slayer. Oh well. I'm fine with the special knives having a bit... Oh, nice. Having a bit more... Oh. Didn't realize he was in range. I'm fine with the special knives having a little bit more durability, honestly. Nice. Mist does take a hit at least. There we go. I think you might be able to hit him. Nice. There we go. And he drops that anyways, so we can just move in here and kill him. Nice. Okay, but what we can do now is now we can give her the armor slayer. I'm honestly contemplating if I just want to make her start with an armor slayer instead of like a slim sword. I mean, the slim sword is nice for the extra crit, but I feel like I'm still not really using it all that much. And you do get another iron sword, so... We'll see. Yeah, as you can see, Armor Slayer is actually quite nice now. You can actually do something with it. Like, I think this is damage-wise in a very, very good spot. Ooh, nice. Why you... Gonna move. Oh yeah, we also have the Dory lance there. It's a relatively weak lance that's pretty heavy, but it gives you a little bit of extra defense. And this does go past your caps. So if you have 20 defense and you have the Dory lance, you have 23 defense. I don't know. I just kind of like the idea. I think Berwick has the Dory lances. They work a little bit differently in that if there's a guy, it gives you +1 defense in Berwick, but if there's another person who also has the Dory lance next to you, then you both get 2 defense and so on. You can make like a spear wall. If you could estimate how much percentage of project left. So I am now, this is chapter 7. I'm mostly done with chapter 7 to a point where for like the first iteration, I think it's fine. And there's 29 chapters, so just chapter-wise, I'm almost a third through with it. Support writing-wise, we have a third of it already as well. We have 18 out of 62 of the new supports. Story writing-wise, we had Samson write for 3 chapters so far. What does Dory refer to? I don't know, that's just what they're called. I think that's just the name of the lance. I'm not quite sure. You can probably find something about it online, though, if you really want to. So yeah, you can try to nab this physics staff if you really want to. Oh, and I wanted to make this kill boss, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. Shove wrist, sword in range. Oh wait, never mind. They all have steel lances. Good luck. Yeah, it's gonna take a good bit, but The things you do for the games you like. Let me drink my beautiful, beautiful wormwood tea. Oh, now they move. Huh. Implementing supports though. I hope the lads can use my guide soon. Yeah, I mean, so far we've just written them. Yeah, that's gonna be a reset. So far, we've just written them. They're not correctly formatted yet. Yeah, I think I need to adjust this map a little bit. Let me do that right now, before we get into Chapter 8. I think I do need to do it. Add... we'll make it just the night band for now. Copy. We're gonna call this the no move AI. No move AI item. No move AI. I'm not quite sure what else we can really call it, so I'll just keep it that. No move AI. Shows that the enemy has let's make it like here. No move AI. Hey Don, what's good? Hello Hamid. Not all that much that's different. I'm currently adjusting this chapter a little bit. Let's make it minus... What is the max? This is my FE9 rework. That I'm working on. Yeah, we're gonna make it minus 25 move. Show that the enemy has no AI. We're gonna make the warp 0. Use this one. That's fine, I think. Dory was the chief spear of hoplites, heavy infantry, and ancient Greek. Yeah, okay, I figured. Will you be releasing it publicly? Yes, when I get around to it. As I said, currently we're around almost halfway through. I'm aiming for a release in 2026. I think we can feasibly do that. Okay, let's maybe give it another icon. I don't know, like... maybe something that isn't used all that much. I'll just use this Japanese sign here. I don't know what this means, but it will show... it'll work as a placeholder for now. Wormwood tea. Tastes disgusting, but it is pretty nice too, because it's so healthy. Okay, here. We're gonna give these guys... where is it? Okay, I already copied it, I think. We're gonna give them the no move AI ring. And then via an event we can take it away, but I think for now I'll just keep it on them. Let me just note it down in my notes that I will change it. Chapter 7. Add some dialogue. That makes all enemies charge after some time. I do like the idea of enemies generally charging you, but I feel like if I just take the item away and then they suddenly charge, it would feel a little bit off. So I'll just keep the item on them, and then later on I'll have an event which removes the items, changes the AI, but does it so at the start of player phase. And let's also look at the script, because I do just want to make it kill boss, if I haven't done so already. I'm gonna look for GF. What is GF? complete. Here. This is the route. If enemy force is 0, you complete. That's the boss combo. What does this mean? Callback B. That's his die event. Oh, why did the music stop? Video stop. Do you want to continue? Yes. Why would you stop it? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? I really don't get why YouTube does this type of shit. Why is it no longer set to random mix, by the way? Man, I hate what YouTube has become. I feel like it just gets worse and worse. It also removed my, me clicking repeat. Man, YouTube is just getting worse and worse. Let's just get Restoria Saga in here. Today's also going to be a bit of a shorter stream, like, I was thinking maybe like 3 hours. You're offline! No, I'm not, YouTube. Stop lying to me. And it stopped the repeat playlist thing again. I really don't know what's up with YouTube. It's so bad. It's gotten so bad. So basically just a rework of the weapons and the chapters, right? No story changes? No story changes. We have story changes. We're gonna add a bunch of... I have 62 new supports planned, and around a third of those are already written. I mean, if you want to look at the specifics of the project, you can join the game dev server in my description and take a read of the stuff right there. We have most of the info needed there. So, I think it should be as easy as just setting GF complete into his death quote, right? MS08 die. I'm pretty sure that is just here. MS08. Yeah, it's just his death quote. So when he dies, you complete the map. I've already been working on this for a couple of months, but development slowed down a little bit because I was working a lot on Mang's Radiant Dawn CMU. But now that that's finished, I can devote some more time to this. Yeah, okay, I think that should work. I think I also need to go into, where is it, chapters? Yeah. Route enemy. Is there a kill, defeat boss? Yeah, we'll just copy this win condition. Here. Defeat boss. Hopefully that should be enough already. Actually, I think it might not change the graphics that you see at the top right. It would only change the status one. Girlfriend complete? Yeah, I don't know why they called it GF complete. It is hilarious. But yeah, I'll be streaming for like a maximum of 2 more hours. Then I have to go because of D&D. Let me just note down, makes all enemies charge after some time, and removes the no move AI items. Okay. Right, that's one change. Oh, the armor killer guy. We gotta reduce his speed a little bit. Okay, so it was... double check this. I think it was this one is res, right? I really wish there was an update for Paragon that noted this down. I've mentioned it before, but I don't know. I think Thane is pretty busy. So that's res, defense, which one is it? Hold on. Here's Wrong guy. Yeah, armor killer. Or was it like the first 3 get ignored? I really don't remember. I take a look at this and I always forget it. I always forget it. Let me just take a look here. So, if we set... Speed should be... I think the second to last one is res, and this one doesn't work if I recall correct, or it does something else. So it's res, defense, luck, and then this should be speed, right? And we have to do, let's see, FF is -1 speed, -2 speed, -3 speed, -4 speed, -5 speed. He should have 9 speed now. I think with that, Gatry doesn't get doubled at base anymore. We'll do -6. I think that should be fine. This guy is pretty much just there to really damage Gatry, but to not kill him outright. And we'll reduce the... I think this is strength, right? We'll reduce this by another point. Because I'm not quite sure if my Gatry got defense levels so far. I don't want him to be reduced to like 1 HP. Okay, we got all of that going. Yeah. Okay. I think that's fine. I think now it should be fine. Yeah, we're gonna have to reset this because I want to be able to have all my playables be alive. For the sake of cutscenes. Don't ask me, I just learned about this from your last hacking stream. Yeah, it's just like in FE10 it's much more simple, I think, because the first one influences HP and then you can just count down. Oh, I guess it just froze. It does that sometimes. But if you speed up. But in FE9 you have like, I think the first 3 values are something unrelated. And then the values after that are HP and all the stats going down. And then the last one is also something unrelated. Yeah, it's just a speed up crash. Okay, well, we're not going to be able to see it immediately. Defense 6 turns, what? That's wrong. Should be defeat boss. Interesting. Let's try this one then. Oh. Let's see. Maybe that's the correct one. Well. Go. And we do this. And YU maxing. Okay, let's check if this... Okay, it did work. No move AI. This guy didn't get it for some... Did I only give it to... Okay, I think I forgot. But I like this. This works very well. I don't think I can really do it in a cleaner way than this. I don't think I can set their move to 0 with the... other stuff, and I think this is a good way of showing the player about it. Now, the issue will be if I want to give them an accessory that gives them stats, for example. I can't do that and have the no move AI unless I do something specific. Kill boss is that one in Japanese? Okay, so I have no... No, that's the correct one. That's the correct one. I was looking at loose condition. Okay. But I can just combine these and make new, like, no-move items theoretically if I want to. Oh, wormwood teeth, man. Let me just revise that right now while I'm at it. No-move AI? Why do they not have it? No-move AI... They have it. They have the item right here. So why do these guys not have the item then? Makes no sense. Oh wait. Oh wait, I think I know what it is. Yeah, I think I have it in the wrong one. I think I might have edited it in Maniac. It should be in hard only. Yeah, that's the issue. Story dialogue writer here, anything I miss? No, not all that much. I just am reworking this. I showed off the prologue, but I don't think it's anything you haven't seen yet. I did give you some props for all the nice work you and AT Machine and Vigilante have been doing for me. I also give him that AI. I don't think anybody else here is no move. Haruma. It's fine, I think. I think this guy doesn't... Yeah, he also doesn't move, so I can give him that skill. This should help let the player tell apart who actually moves and who doesn't. Okay, if that... Here's save. I did want to work on Chapter 8, but I just haven't completed it yet. I haven't completed Chapter 7 yet. Because last time I think somebody died near the end. And the thing is, I do want to legitimately go through these chapters in gameplay, instead of just skipping through them, for example, because if you skip through them, you can't really gauge all that well just how strong the enemies are compared to your units, and it becomes much harder to do balance. Like, you can think, okay, maybe the player gets... Yeah, now it works. Maybe the player gets, like a level up here that's good, or doesn't level this particular stat, like with Gatry. I can probably guess that, like, I want... The Armor Slayer should never kill Gatry, even at base. So I need to reduce the stats of the Armor Slayer there, that you saw earlier, to a point where he doesn't die even at base. Hmm. Ah. Yeah, we can just attack here. I gotta say, man, the Android Saga soundtrack is pretty banger. Begun to mod Fates because wanted to try the 3 routes with only Einherjar generic units only. Well, good luck with that. I think we need a hand axe in here. Ugh, maybe not a hand axe, maybe an iron axe. Yeah, Boyd is pretty strong, but his hit rates, they are pretty bad. I'm not sure if I did it yet, but I did want to change up Tempest a bit. I don't think I did it yet. To where I'm not quite sure how I want to do it yet. Maybe like it just instead of it just doubling the effects, you get more hit and less hit, like way more. Maybe it also gives you crit or something. I don't know, because it always felt like such a skill that the idea is not bad, but I feel like it's one of those skills that many people just take off because of how annoying they find it. And with that, you at least get a legitimate bonus from it. I can only imagine the flags needed for the all alive dead checks for chapters 1 to 9. It's absurd. Yes, there's like 6 variations, I think, based on if somebody is dead or alive for the dialogue. But it's fine. Wonk, wonk. It's fine. If I'm gonna do a game, I'm gonna do it right. Let's use the Regal Sword to maybe get some crits. If you have music recommendations, by the way, go ahead. Chesky god motherfucking damn. Is chest a stone? Okay. Do this. I know we should get Grile and the others relatively soon. Yeah, going for Alia. Skipping that. And that. Oh, I think I changed it on the wrong guy. Yeah. Which guy did I change? Yeah, I think I changed it on the guy, but I think on another difficulty. Oh man. Oh man. Dragon Seed OST baby class, obscure banger. Well, I'll put it in there. I also don't get like... Previously on YouTube, you always had the button to pop out the player, right? On the bottom right. And it was super nice. I used it all the time. The mini player. And now you have to right click and then click mini player. It is like... I don't know who they're hiring at these big tech companies, but they're not doing a good job. I feel like for companies like Google and YouTube and all that stuff, you could probably cut away half of the employees, make more money, and have a better product. Sorry, what did you say? You said Dragon Seed OST baby class. Dragon Seed OST baby class. I'm not finding anything about baby class. Just the soundtrack itself. Are you sure that's the right name? OST baby class. I'm not finding it. I can put on some Dragon Seed or Dragon Seeds? I think it's Dragon Seeds, right? The PS1 game? Wait, Dragon Seed is there as well. But that's from a movie. It has to be not copyrighted. Dragon Seeds? Battle of the Holy Plane? I'll wait for you to tell me. Okay, let's try this again. So I think it was Res, Defense, Luck, and this one should be Speed. So we do F1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, is it correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, FB is 5. We'll do 6. Yeah, Dragon Seeds. Yeah, but I can't find Baby Class, if that's the song name. Baby Division 1? Is that the one? I can add that one. It was like way down though. But I've put it in, let me just put it on next. Actually, I'll just put it on now. It's like 15 more minutes on this song, it's an extended version. Oh my god, YouTube. I am not offline, YouTube. I think this is the one. From 12 years ago, damn. Battle on the Holy Plain. I'm not sure what to think about it. Okay, no, it's good, it's good. The beginning was just a bit weird. So that's the speed. And then we do, after speed, we get skill, magic, strength, HP, right? Let's maybe give him 2 less strength as well. Actually, no, I think that's probably fine. We don't, maybe like 1 less strength, I'm fine with that, but then we give him back 1 point of speed. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And then for next time, it'll be there. Not quite sure if I want to move, have Baruma move. Okay. Chest and stone. I'm not using any of these stat boosters because I want to make sure that this is beatable without stat boosters. That is gonna be quite important. The vocals are a bit weird, man, but other than that, this song is pretty alright. I usually don't really like having vocals in my background music, at least for streams, because I'm already like half of my brain power goes towards the chat, and the other half goes towards the game. Oh, actually, that's wrong. It's a third is also just commentating, and having vocals kind of screws a bit with that. Normally, I do like vocals. Like when I listen to the game by myself, or when I'm just working by myself, I usually put on Sabaton or like some metal or something, you know, some soundtrack. Oh, nice. Currently, I've been really enjoying Sabaton's new album, Legends. And I was like, the first time you listen through some of the songs, they're like, this is kind of mid. But then you listen to it again and you're like, actually, this is kind of a banger. Got the tribal vibe. True. It reminded me a little bit about, what's it called? Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. What is the worst unit according to you in FE9? Worst unit in FE9. I'm not sure. I think Rolf is actually not as bad as people say. Okay, I'll quickly take a look at the units, because I should be able to answer this, but I don't know, I think I just forgot. I'm pretty sure this is something that would have been, like, right out of the gun, normally. I mean, Mia is up there. Aleph is up there as well. Soph, I guess, because you don't really need his thief utility all that much. And Af and Ulki are certainly up there. So I don't think there's one unit that is like significantly worse than everybody else. But there's a couple of units which feel weaker. Like I really like Lef, for example, or Rolf. But Lef just doesn't stay relevant long term, I find, usually. She's just not fast enough to double, and she is not as tanky as Mordecai, for example. So she just feels worse. Rolf can be nice. I don't know. I find even the worst units in this game can be pretty damn useful to you. Maybe Devdan, actually. Devdan is... No, actually, Devdan helps you a bit as a filler unit, even if he's not, like, super good long-term. I'm really not sure. They're mostly fine. Rolf is the conventional answer. Yes, but I don't think Rolf is as bad as people say, if I'm being honest. Like, Rolf is alright. Is that enough? Hold on, do I need the extra damage here? Yeah, that is enough. Nice. Is that enough to heal her? Oh boy, it's not. Okay, we're gonna play it safe and we're gonna quaff a vulnerary. Lef I just always found as a Lagoose pretty lackluster. Oh, let's go Tekken. Pretty sure Rolf would have survived that. Rolf is actually surprisingly tanky sometimes. Oh, nice. We'll heal you up right here. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I can blast through this guy with the Tiamat axe, because even though it weighs her down by, like, what, by 10 points, this guy is just even slower. He has 0 speed, so... Rare instance of it doubling. Shinon is pretty weak when he comes back, but I guess he has good growth to catch up. He's gonna come back earlier now. How I did Shinon is he's gonna join you alongside Gatry. Which might be a little bit loud. Turn that down just a bit. Yeah, see, the volume of the video also went up again. I don't get this from YouTube. Like, the system they had previously, it worked perfectly fine. And it feels like they're changing things for the sake of being able to say, hey, I did something to their employer, even though what they did just made it worse. Like, most of the other changes to YouTube UI, I actually didn't mind that much. This one is just objectively worse. Okay, go back to OBS. Rolf is good with insane favoritism. What's nice about Rolf is he has his bond support, so he can get like plus 25 crit from that alone. I think the Rolf bow has a little bit of crit, but just from his bond supports plus killer bow, he gets like 55 crit at base, which is pretty nice. And then he also has good skill as well. That's pretty much how YouTube be. They gotta give people something to do, even if it ends up making the site worse. No, what they should do is they should fire half of the people working there, because they're giving them money for no reason, and it actively makes their website worse and costs them more money that they can invest otherwise. It is a genuinely stupid thing to do, in my opinion. Add to queue is the only good change. That has been around for like years now, though. They work like corrupt bureaucrats. They create problems to solve them to make it look like they work. Pretty much. It's quite infuriating. Oh wait, I didn't change this yet. Oh well, I think he's just gonna die now. Oh my god, am I gonna have to replay this again? I think I'm gonna have to replay this again. A burrow. Burrow. I will do this. Rip Gyat tree. Well, I wanted to actually work a bit more on stuff, but if I'm just gonna die to everything, that's gonna be a bit difficult. Can I put on... Wasn't there a setting where you can just keep the volume of the video the same? Oh, I can't enable that here, of course. They also made that worse. Phenomenal, YouTube. Truly fucking phenomenal. I hope all of you fuckers get fired. Or maybe not all, but like half of you fuckers. Could that have killed him even? No. Marduk, such a banger game. At casual mode? No. So you're gonna actually work now? Alright, have fun, man. Thank you for sticking around. Could do Hammer Void here. Oh, he actually barely survives because of the defense level. Okay. That's crazy. I thought he'd do a little bit more damage, actually. Let's maybe, so maybe instead of removing his strength, let's maybe just give him 2 points of strength. Or like, yeah, 2 points. What are your thoughts on using guns in Fire Emblem? I don't know. I'm trying to like, but I don't know if I can accept it or not. You mean like for Fortune's Weave? Here's the thing, so it depends on how you do it. If you just literally have, hey, here's a gun, then it's not gonna feel right, I find. But if you can say like, oh, this is a device for handling magical energy and focusing it on one attack, or like one precise strike, like a, you know, like a wand essentially. If you make it a fancy wand or something, then I can believe it. Then it's kind of fine, honestly. If they were muskets instead of laser guns, it would be better. I think something like laser guns only really works if you make them very magical. That can work, but other than that, just if you're gonna add guns, add like muskets or something, or, you know, because if you think about it, crossbows are the proto guns essentially. They're what came before the guns, and they kind of work like they kind of work already like a gun, just with a bolt instead of a bullet. I think I'll just keep Gut Tree here. And we can try to get some of these here. Ooh. Oh, she got the Dory Lance. That's crazy. She could actually break through these guys with the Tiamat axe. That's crazy. Guns already existed in the late Middle Ages, so it's not too far-fetched. Yes, but it was muskets. And there's a big, big difference between a musket and something like an AR-15 or something, or a pistol or whatever. Kind archer, but more range, but still I need a good story to buy that. Yeah, you can't just add guns and be like, yeah, I'm done. That doesn't work in my opinion. Can I just kill him now? I don't think he's... Yeah, he's pretty weak by himself. His damage is just pretty good. And his guards. Honestly, the gun has weird thunderspark effects when the woman is using it to parry for some reason. You can make it work, but I don't think it's super easy to make it work. I think we're just gonna let Boyd handle those guys. Maybe I should have healed them before that. Oh well. Oh, guys, if you didn't hear yet, by the way, Mangs lost his ultimate gauntlet, so now we're getting Berwick. So I recall somebody asking me what are the chances of you actually playing Berwick. I think even though like it's been promised to me now, it's probably still gonna take a couple months, would be my guess. I am not super confident in his ability to keep that promise, if I'm being honest. But I'm more confident than before, at least. Brooke has been promised 3,000 streams for Go. I mean, that's not even wrong. Let's see, he has 30 damage. Okay, I can definitely lure him in, that's nice. Guess we can just keep these guys here. We'll keep him here, so we can rescue him if need be. And one thing I want to show you as well, if we use the knife for example, it's just soap, right? But the stiletto can actually deal damage to the armor knights, so it really does help him quite a lot, I find. Especially taking into account he's doing Season 2 of the Gauntlet. Yeah, I'm a bit iffy on that. I don't mind him doing Season 2, but I feel like I'm just never gonna get Berwick. If he's just gonna like, oh yeah, you won, but like watch him say something like, yeah, you're gonna get Berwick after I beat the Gauntlet, and then I'm like, bro, gonna be years till then. Imagine if he just says something like that. It would be one of the moments of all time. I feel he was rushing on FE2. Maybe. Getting more luck. A little bit. Could have certainly played better, I guess, but could have also played worse. Yeah, that's a kill, actually. Wait. We're gonna be stiletto maxing. There we go. He threw FE2 like he did with FE1. Yeah, and unlike FE1, I don't really have much of a clue about FE2, so I can't really help much with that. Maniac Iron Man wasn't enough. I do hope he actually does that suggestion where instead of it being like FE1, FE2, FE3 in a chronological order, he instead just puts them all on a wheel and plays them in random order. I think that would make it more enjoyable to watch generally. It's okay, not everybody deserves to play Peak anyways. I don't know, I think I'd like more people to play Peak. I mean, one of the main reasons I'm so adamant about him finally fucking playing it is because I think he would enjoy it. If I didn't think he would enjoy it, I wouldn't be like this. When are you going to do that? Download would love to watch that. What do you mean? Putting all the games on a wheel and then playing them randomly? I don't want to do that because of one simple reason. Oh, that's a nice one. I don't think I would really enjoy many of the later games, and I've never played them before. Like, Three Houses, never played or really seen that been played before. Fates, I haven't played yet, but I will relatively soon. Then... what else is there? Echoes I did play. Echoes was the last one I played, I'm pretty sure. Three Hopes I didn't really play, but though to be fair, that is one of the ones that interests me a little bit more just because I like warrior games generally. That's one skilled soldier. You would have to play FE12. That is honestly not even the worst part. I mean, I don't like FE12 that much. If you play it on like a lower difficulty or something, then I think it can be okay. But there's still, like, essentially, I'd be forcing myself to play bad games or games I don't want to play for the sake of, like, for the sake of content. And I don't really mind content, but I don't know. Ambush spawns? I actually don't mind ambush spawns that much in most settings. I think they're a bit overhated. I think people just have a skill issue. Puzzle emblem, yeah, I don't like that. Cool Lyncha model. Yeah, it's just the one she uses in cutscenes before she becomes a queen, but I decided to... Or, well, in-game it's actually called a bishop, female bishop is just what it's called, but it's just a Lyncha. So I was like, okay, I can just make her like a healer. Now, she does have Paragon, but notably this doesn't work for staves, which is kind of the exact reason I gave it to her, but oh well. I think the best games are FE2 and FE5, they were at their peak. FE4 and 5 I haven't played either, if I'm being honest. What's the Dory Lands? Let me show it to you. It's a little bit inspired by the one in Berwick, but it works a bit differently. Who has it? I think Tanya has it. Okay, it's not in the animation yet, but or in the text yet, but it gives you 3 defense and 3 res, but it's a bad lance by itself. It's like more so on like, this is really good on units that have a lot of strength and want a little bit more defense to be able to deal. It's like a bit like a guard lance. I'm surprised her animations work. They don't. I made them work. Her healing animation crashed the game normally, or put it in a loop. What I did was I copied her taking damage animation and used that as her healing animation. So technically it's just her taking damage animation and nothing else. But that one stacks on multiples and is infantry only. Yeah, it's a bit different, but I figured it's fine enough for me. Just to have something like, you know, a little bit different. Dude, this guy is super strong. I think maybe we need the... Does the stiletto deal... Wow, even the stiletto doesn't deal damage. Maybe this guy's a bit overtuned. Let's give him like no res, or like lower res and 2 less defense. Yeah, he has a bit too much. Let's lower his defense to, I think, 19. The more weapon variety, the better. Wow, I swear some people learn more about coding from these old games than from actual scholarly courses. Oh, absolutely. I have absolutely no coding education. Anything I know about coding, I taught myself, or I learned from people who know coding. Like, a lot of the stuff, when I started learning about Tellius, I looked at Sal's server and I just learned from that. I fiddled around a bit with it myself. Like, believe it or not, I still have trouble reading and especially writing C code, for example, but I can do my way pretty well around like reverse engineering and with Ghidra or like hex editing, even though those things are technically more difficult. And I understand assembly relatively well. I don't know, I find like for me, I always found it easier to look at something from its root and then investigate upwards instead of starting in the middle. And for me, learning C++ before I know how assembly, at least in theory, works, is like, you know, starting in the middle. Starting right in it, instead of like learning as you go along. But I'm a bit weird like that, I think. Yeah, we're just gonna wait another turn. It reduced their strength, their bulk a little bit because, yeah. Like, Shinon, for example, is just outside of doing damage. 5 less res means Soren will be able to do a little bit. Yeah, I did get a wind tone. Soren, only a wind mage. He's an actual wind mage now. Which hopefully will allow him to, like, be a bit more unique compared to the other. Yeah, okay. Hammer still absolutely destroys him. That's what it has to do. So yeah, unironically, looking at old games, because like when you're learning about coding in like a classroom, you're like, it's a bit abstract. They teach you what to do and why, but they don't give you a reason to learn coding. If you're learning how to edit an old game like this, it's not that you want to learn coding. It is that you want to edit the game, that is your goal, and learning how to code is, in a sense, just a means to an end that you want to achieve. Nice. Mia bros. I have to find my father. So, I do want to eventually make this like custom little guidance chapter where you play as Gryle and you have like a little boss fight here. But that is for later. I'm gonna do that much later because like it doesn't need to be here. It's more like a thing like, oh, it could be cool if the player gets to play as Gryle for a little bit and see just how strong he really is. And then like just a little bit later he fights against the Black Knight and he absolutely gets his shit kicked in. And you're like, holy shit. I saw how strong he is, and the Black Knight is even stronger. I think that would be pretty cool. Doop 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 doop. Hey, Dad. But that's like one of those things that I want to eventually do, but like one of those things where if I can do it later, I will. If I end up feeling like it's gonna be too much work for too little effort, then I might just not. Okay, we finally made it to this chapter. Yeah, I haven't touched the supports yet, but we're gonna have a whole lot more. Oh, Lyncha Ike support. Crazy. Oh, wait, they can just get multiple? Yeah, they can just jump into B rank immediately because she normally joins so late, so they made the support faster because of that. Okay, I'll definitely have to take a look at that. These two being able to support immediately is pretty nice. Okay, I like this. Bit more interesting than just always having Oscar Ike immediately. And we do get the convoy now. So this chapter will be a whole lot of work. Because, oh boy, I dread doing this one. I'm still gonna make it a defense chapter, but I'll make it a bit different. My idea for this one is only time travel existed so we can swap Path of Radiance with Donald's version of Path of Radiance. That's always difficult to say something like that. Because, like, if people only played my version, there's a couple, like, I think for a rebalance or rework or something, the reason why you can do some things is because the original exists. And you want to make it different from the original. But if my version was the original, there's a couple of things that other people wouldn't like and then change. Like Soren shippers with instant Elintia B support and no Soren support. Always shipped Ike and Elintia. Yeah, I kind of like the idea that they can support pretty fast. Maybe not B support immediately, I'm gonna adjust that a little bit, but still. Only time travel, yeah, it's going to put it off event indefinitely. Yes, probably. But my idea for this was, the Black Knight sticks around. He's like, oh, your challenge begins at midnight, or something like that. And then the Black Knight will be here overseeing the siege. He will force Ileana to lead the siege, or to lead the left flank. And then he will have Kamura attacking you from the right flank. So you're gonna have more units available. Just to show this, I haven't adjusted anything yet, of course, but you will have Soph, who again to remind you has the stiletto, which can deal a little bit of damage. You have Rolf, who, if you train him at this point, can actually be pretty useful. You have Alia as a third healer, you have Alincia as a healer. You get Mia, and you get a Sword Slayer that can actually do something, and depending on how much you train her, she can actually be pretty useful. I think mine is actually a little bit stat screwed, so she just feels a little bit more like she just starts out in. Maybe I should give her, like, instead of making her level 1, I should make her like level 2 or something. Then you have Boyd, who's a good bit stronger. You have a little bit more XP, I think, in general. Oscar is more defensive. Soren is a bit easier to train, I think. Titania does still have the Tiamat axe, so even if she doesn't have a hammer, she can deal with these guys relatively well, with the armored guys. And my Ike is a bit screwed, but the Regal Sword is a bit better as well. Oh boy. So I'm really not sure if I want to do this today. I think I may just head off earlier today. It's only 1.5 hours, but I don't know. I think I still don't feel 100%. It's very torn when it comes to Kaga Emblem. I think he would really enjoy Berwick. Like, Tearing Saga, maybe not as much. Staria Saga, I haven't really played. Same with FE4 and FE5, but Berwick, I think he would enjoy to play. To watch, maybe not as much, but to play, yes. And if he does it right, it will be very, very fun to watch as well. Fates is fun, if you should give it a chance. I will soon. I'm looking to finish Shadow Dragon and Fates relatively soon. And then I'll jump into Berwick. I'll jump into Birthright, Lunatic, Semi-Blind Iron Man. I think I'm actually gonna hold off here. I don't know, I'm not feeling all that well, and if I'm not feeling all that well, I think I want some more rest before going into my D&D session. But yeah, you have the general layout of this. I'll have to think about how I want to do this, or maybe do a little bit of work on it offline. I didn't think that I'd have to go through Chapter 7 so many times. Yeah, I think I may just work a little bit on this off-screen if I'm feeling a bit better, and I'm gonna just end it here. Bit of a short stream, but, you know, better than nothing. Yeah. Oh, I think you don't get those items? Yeah, you do. Interesting. Okay, but that's fine by me. That's the that's this cutscene, yeah, that we could make into one. Alright, Donna, seeing you later. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a bit of a rest. I'm gonna have to take a look about like future streams. If everything goes well, then I'm gonna be co-hosting with Oof for Berwick tomorrow. And then maybe you'll get another stream on Wednesday. Thursday I'll be busy. Or Friday maybe, we'll see. So I'll see you guys by then. Have a good night. Or have a good day, it's not even night. Wow, that's surprising, normally it is. Oh well.